Hello, my dear Taurus. I want to sit with you in this moment and speak to you with honesty. Because what is opening for you now is not a matter of chance or luck. It is the unfolding of something that has been inside you all along, waiting for the right time to emerge. For too long, you have carried yourself as though you were holding an invisible crown, aware that there was more to you, aware that you were built for stability and leadership. Yet hesitating, holding back, dimming your strength so that you could fit into environments that could never fully contain your presence. That time of restraint is closing, Taurus, and the universe is no longer asking if you are ready. It is showing you that you must be ready, because the crown that has hovered over you for years is now lowering into its rightful place. You have been shaped by long seasons of endurance, by responsibilities that often felt heavier than what others around you carried, and by battles that left marks, not on your surface but deep within your spirit. These were never signs of defeat, Taurus. They were the fires that tempered you, the tests that taught you not just to survive, but to become unshakable. Now the universe reveals that you are not moving into just another chapter. You are stepping into a position that has always been yours, command over your own life. The ability to walk with a steady authority that does not need to be announced to be felt. Others will begin to notice this shift before you even say a word, because the strength you are reclaiming is quiet, steady, and undeniable. But with this return of power comes a new kind of responsibility. You are being asked to align yourself not with what others expect, not with the old roles you once played, but with the deeper truth that has lived in your soul since the beginning. You can no longer carry the mask that kept you safe, nor can you allow the voice of self-doubt to tell you that you are not ready. Taurus, the throne of your life has been empty for too long, and only you can sit in it. This is not about arrogance. It is about integrity, balance, and the courage to accept that your life cannot remain in the shadows of hesitation any longer. What follows from this recognition is not ease but transformation. And every decision you make from this point forward becomes the stone that sets the foundation for the years ahead. The invisible crown will not be denied anymore. It will rest upon you as naturally as breath. And from that place, you will see with clarity the path that is opening. And this is not the end of the message, Taurus. It is only the beginning. Because once you reclaim this power, the universe will send the first catalyst that shakes your world and demands that you step into the story you were always meant to live. And now, my dear Taurus, once you have placed that crown upon your spirit and accepted that you are no longer meant to walk in hesitation, the universe sends what I call the unexpected catalyst, the moment that disrupts your familiar ground and forces you to move with the strength you have just reclaimed. It does not arrive as something you can easily predict or plan for, and that is precisely why it carries so much weight, because catalysts are designed to break the patterns that have kept you standing still. For you, Taurus, this catalyst may appear as a sudden opportunity that interrupts your routine, a conversation that shifts your entire perspective, or even a disruption that feels uncomfortable at first but reveals itself to be the hand of destiny, moving the pieces into place. The earth sign in you craves stability. It longs for the familiar soil beneath your feet. But this catalyst comes to remind you that true stability is not about staying unchanged. It is about allowing growth, about letting roots push deeper even when the ground shakes. You will recognize it not by its appearance, but by the way it stirs you. By the way your body tells you, this is different. This matters. It may challenge your patience, asking you to make a decision faster than you would like. Or it may test your trust, placing before you something that looks too big, too sudden, too much. But Taurus, this is how the universe ensures that you do not slip back into waiting. This is how life calls you into alignment with the authority you have just claimed. And though it may unsettle you, this catalyst is not here to destroy but to activate. Think of it as the spark that lights the fire beneath the new path. The moment that demands you use the power you have been preparing for. Without it, you might keep postponing, convincing yourself that someday would be better, that later would feel safer. But with it, you are pushed into the flow of transformation, where waiting is no longer an option and presence is your only choice. This is where your crown begins to weigh on you, not as a burden, but as a reminder that you are equipped, that the timing is no longer tomorrow, but now. My dear Taurus, when the catalyst arrives and shakes you from the safety of what you have known, something deeper begins to stir, the revelation of truths that have been hidden, sometimes by others, but most often by yourself. This is the stage where the universe places a mirror in front of you, not the polished kind that flatters, but the clear and unyielding one that shows what has been concealed. You will begin to see with new clarity the illusions that you once relied on for comfort, the people whose words carried weight but whose actions told another story, and even the habits within yourself that you thought were harmless but that quietly kept you small. For Taurus, this is not easy, because your nature is loyal and steady. And once you have invested your heart or your trust, it is hard to imagine pulling it back. But the truth does not come to wound you. It comes to free you. The revelations that surface in this period may cut at first, like a sharp wind against your skin. But they are designed to strip away what is false so that only what is real can remain. You may learn that someone you depended on has been holding back honesty, or that an opportunity you thought was closed has been quietly waiting for you all along. These truths will not arrive in whispers, they will arrive in ways that you cannot ignore. And you will know them, by the way, they settle in your body with a mix of pain and relief. What matters now, Taurus, is your response. Will you cling to the familiar even when it is revealed to be unstable? Or will you allow yourself to walk forward guided by clarity rather than illusion? The hidden truths are not punishments. They are gifts, gifts that allow you to step into the next phase of your life without chains tied to false promises or half-truths. The revelations you receive now will become the foundation of trust you build with yourself, teaching you that your intuition was always right, even when you doubted it. And as these truths unfold, they will clear space for the rebirth that is waiting just beyond them. Once the hidden truths have been revealed and the illusions stripped away, you will find yourself standing before a threshold unlike any you have known. This is the door of rebirth. And though it may not look grand at first glance, it carries the weight of destiny. To step through it is to leave behind the fragments of the person you were when you lived in hesitation and to claim the fullness of the one you were always meant to become. This moment is not simply symbolic. It is a turning point that divides your story into a before and after. On the other side lies a life in which your choices are no longer driven by fear or scarcity, but by the clear voice of your own soul. The door does not open through force, Taurus, it opens through surrender. It yields when you decide that you will not keep dragging the past into the present. When you release the weight of betrayals, regrets, and doubts, and when you trust that what waits beyond is not emptiness but promise. For an earth sign like you, surrender can feel like the hardest task, because you are used to control, to stability, to tangible proof. But the celestial realm reminds you that sometimes the most grounded act you can take is to trust the unseen, to lean into the faith that has carried you through countless storms already. And here is where the support of the heavens steps forward. You are not crossing this threshold alone. The universe has aligned its messengers, angels, ancestors, guides, and even the quiet forces of nature itself to surround you as you step forward. They send signs in repeating numbers, in dreams that linger when you wake, in coincidences too sharp to ignore. They whisper courage when your chest feels heavy. And they remind you that your crown was never a burden but a signal that you are equipped to walk this road. The celestial support that surrounds you now is not distant. It is intimate, woven into the fabric of your daily life, urging you forward with the certainty that you are not only safe but chosen for this transformation. As you place your hand on this door, Taurus, know that what lies beyond is not simply change, it is renewal. It is the rebirth of your spirit, the fresh alignment of your purpose, and the deep peace of finally walking in the fullness of your strength. And once you pass through, nothing that comes after will ever reduce you to who you were before. We have walked together through the awakening of your inner crown, the sudden arrival of the catalyst, the piercing revelations of hidden truths, and the threshold of rebirth supported by the celestial realm. Now we arrive at the final closing message, the truth that gathers all of these strands into one steady thread for your life. Taurus, you are no longer being asked to wait. The season of hesitation has ended. What lies ahead for you is not built on promises that others make, but on the authority that you now claim as your own. The universe has shown you that your strength is not in clinging to the old, but in your willingness to step forward even when the path is unfamiliar. Every decision you make now carries weight. Every choice is a seed planted in the ground of your future. And the message is clear: you are capable of creating a life that reflects not only your resilience but your deepest truth. The abundance waiting for you is not measured only in money or success, but in alignment, resources flowing because you stand where you are meant to stand. Relationships deepening because you choose honesty over illusion. Health returning because you release what no longer belongs to you. The universe has placed the crown on your head not to burden you, but to remind you that you were always meant to carry this responsibility, this authority, this quiet and enduring influence. So, Taurus, take this moment as your turning point. Do not look back with regret and do not look forward with fear. Instead, plant yourself firmly in the present, knowing that the earth beneath you will always hold you steady as long as you remain true to your soul. The door of rebirth has opened, the celestial support surrounds you, and the path ahead has never been clearer. Your time has come. Your crown is yours, and the universe will move with you the moment you decide to move with it.